If you've been thinking about it for months, maybe longer, you're in a 2-bedroom condo, the second bedroom is doing 3 jobs at once: home office, nursery, storage locker, and the stroller situation in the elevator has officially become a problem. You love your neighborhood, you love the walkability, but you've outgrown the space and you know it. The question isn't whether to move, how do you do it without making a very expensive mistake? In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what the trade-up process looks like in Vancouver right now. The math, the timing, the decision most couples get wrong, so you go in with your eyes wide open. I'm Sasha Hahn. I help Vancouver condo and townhome owners trade up the right way to a detached home without overpaying, underselling, or losing their minds in the middle. So let's get into it. Here's a quick note before we dive in. I have couples who reach out every single week who are exactly where you are right now. They've been doing the mental math, browsing realtor.ca at midnight, and they just want someone to run the actual numbers with them. So if that's you, the link to book a call is in the description. There's no pitch, no pressure, just a real conversation about your specific situation. Okay, so let's talk about what this process actually looks like. Why the trade-up math is harder than it looks. Here's what most people don't realize when they start thinking about this move. Selling a condo and buying a house aren't two separate decisions. They're one decision, and the way you sequence them, price them, and finance the gap between them determines whether this move works in your favor or can cost you 6 figures in avoidable mistakes. Let me give you a real example. Say your condo in Mount Pleasant is worth $900K after commissions, legal fees, staging, and minor prep work. You're netting somewhere around $855. Depending what you spend getting it ready, if you have $400,000 mortgage on it, you're walking away with roughly $440K to $455 in equity to work with. Now let's say you want a detached home in East Van or Burnaby in the 1.7 to 1.9 million range. With your equity as a down payment, your new mortgage lands around 1.25 mil to 1.45. At today's rates, that's a carrying cost you need to stress test before you commit, not after. So the couples who get in trouble are the ones who run this math loosely, or who let a lender tell them what they can borrow without thinking hard about what they can comfortably carry. This is the first thing we work through in a move-up strategy call. Next, should you sell first or buy first? This is probably the number one question we get. And the honest answer is it really depends, but most people should seriously consider selling first, especially in this market. Here's the logic. In Vancouver's detached market, conditions can shift quickly. If you buy first without a firm sale on your condo, you're exposed. You might end up carrying 2 properties, or you might face pressure to accept a lower offer on your condo because you've already committed to the purchase. And that's a stressful and expensive position to be in. Selling first gives you certainty. You know the exact proceeds, you know your exact down payment, you negotiate your purchase from a position of strength, not desperation. The downside is that you might need bridge financing if your condo closes before your new home does. But that's a well understood manageable cost, usually a few $1,000s, not tens of thousands of dollars. These are scenarios where buying first makes sense, particularly if you find an exceptional property in a fast-moving segment and your condo is in a strong, ready-to-list condition. But the default position for most people in this market is sell first with certainty. What most people get wrong about condo prep, I see 2 mistakes consistently. The first is doing too much, spending $30K on a kitchen reno for buyers who are going to renovate it themselves anyways. The second is doing too little, skipping $4K in paint and staging that would have turned a $20 to $30K in final sale price. So what's the right answer? It's strategic prep, and that means a pre-list walkthrough, a clear-eyed assessment of what actually moves buyers in your specific building and price range and budget tied to expected return, not anxiety. In most cases, that's fresh neutral paint throughout, professional staging and cleaning, decluttering, and fixing anything that would come up on an inspection or make buyers nervous. Cosmetic issues are fine, structural or mechanical issues need to be addressed or disclosed and priced accordingly. One more thing on prep, the condo documents matter. Get your depreciation report, strata financials, any special levy history in order before you list. Buyers are sophisticated, a surprise in the documents can kill a deal. it's better to attack it ahead of time. The real timeline here is a realistic sequence. Prep and list your condo roughly 4 to 6 weeks to get ready. Active on market 1 to 3 weeks for an accepted offer in a reasonably priced listing. Closing on the condo typically 30 to 60 days after acceptance. That gives your proceeds. From there, you're an active buyer. Depending on conditions, finding and securing the right property takes anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks or months. If you need bridge financing between your condo closing and your house closing, your lender sets that up. It's routine. So your total timeline from when we're serious to keys in hand, usually 4 to 6 months if things move at a normal pace. It's not as fast as people hope, but it's not as terrifying as they fear if it's planned properly. If you found this useful, the next video you should watch is about how to price your condo in Vancouver correctly, because this is where most sellers leave real money on the table. I'll show you what a custom market analysis actually looks like and why templated comps from the internet almost always mislead. That video is right here below, and if you're ready to run the actual numbers for your situation, your condo, your equity, your target price range, the booking link is in the description. Chat soon.